Hey guys, it's Jam aka Kaiba today, and I'll be showing you another YGOPro video, and this time we have a BUSTER BLADER Hieratic deck. This new BUSTER BLADER support that was released in BOSH, and we actually have that in TCG now. And found some of them lackluster, like some of the BUSTER Whelp, what's it called? Destruction Sword, Companion Destruction Sword. We are only playing some of them. This is the level 1 tuner and a level 1 tuner, and we of course play the vanilla BUSTER BLADER. We are not playing the new support, some of the new support. We're only playing half of it, I guess. We're not playing the new BUSTER BLADER. I guess you could try out one of this. The main problem with this card is it's not searchable, and also it's not a BUSTER BLADER in the name, which is retarded. Meaning you can't search it with the emblem of the Dragon Destroyer. If you remember this card, it's like a really old card from back in the day. It's actually useful in this deck since you need to get BUSTER BLADER as quickly as possible in your hand or graveyard. That's why we don't play this one. It's got a good effect, but we don't have enough room for it, and it just doesn't work with the deck as it's designed. I don't know why they designed the deck that way. And the two other whelps is the Machine and the Wizard Spellcaster one, which I don't understand why they are Spellcaster and Machine. And they should be tuners as well, but they're not, so we aren't playing those. You basically just equip it to BUSTER BLADER and it gets effects, but the effect's not as good as the other ones. We don't play the spell card as well, which is the target up to 3 monsters. We don't play that, it's jank, and this one we don't play because I don't think it's that good. But then again, we are playing some of the new support. The good ones are the Companion Destruction Sword. This is the best one. It's basically, you normal summon it, get a Destruction Sword card from your deck, and there you go, you use +1 from doing it. And as additional fact, you got a level 1 tuner there, so you can synchro with BUSTER BLADER or your Hieratic monsters to make level 7 or level 8 synchros. And the other one that we play is the level 1 tuner. It's a dark one this time. This one can search that one, so usually search this and use cards of consonants to pitch it and get draws. And the other last support that we play is the fusion spell. We only play one because it's not that good if you play more than one. You can also recycle it by pitching one card. And that's also really useful because you can pitch BUSTER BLADER and you want BUSTER BLADER in the grave, because most of the time you can summon it with this from the grave anyway by tributing it. And the Hieratic engine is pretty standard. 3 Tefnuit, 3 Su, 3 assets. We played 2 Labradorite Dragon. I was testing out 1 Wattail and 1 Labradorite, but I found that double Labradorite more synergistic with the deck. Since we play cards of consonants, and of course you can pitch Labradorite with cards of consonants, so it works really well. And of course triples Convocation for the searches. It's quite useful getting the custom searches. We're trying out 1 7 Swords because you can just banish BUSTER BLADER. We actually have 5 BUSTER BLADERs in the deck since we got the search. Don't forget, you can also get BUSTER BLADER from the grave with this. You rarely do that though, because you want to keep it in the grave most of the time, because the new support only summons it from the graveyard for some reason. I don't know why it only summons it from the grave, but yeah, you want it to be in the grave as soon as possible. And we're taking in the Claw of Hermos, which is probably my favourite card in this deck. You just tribute a dragon or warrior monster or a spellcaster, but we don't play any spellcasters. So you summon these guys from your fusion deck, extra deck, sorry. That's what it was called, fusion deck, when it was only fusions. And we play double Twin Twister. This deck has a few ways of dealing with back row, which is Su and Twin Twister. So Twin Twister is useful in that, and Runageki of course. And 3 traps only, 1 vanities, 1 strike, and 1 warning. It was just good cards. We just played them one-offs, just because we have room. And we could put another Twin Twister in, but we want a bit of defense in this deck as well, because we draw a lot in this deck. As you can see, we got triple cards of consonants and loads of targets for it, and 7 swords and upstarts for consistency. It's very inconsistent to pull some of the combos. If you like draw 2 of these and like 2 of the same Hieratics, that's the only problem. But if you start drawing like the Labradorite and Whelps, it's not bad, since you can just pitch and draw cards and you eventually get to your combo pieces at some point. Now for the extra deck, we play only 1 of the new fusion monster. It's a lot of drawbacks in this card, but the cool way of using him is to basically super poly your opponent's side of the field, since this card makes everything dragon on your opponent's side of the field. So if you have Buster Blader and him out, which you usually should, you can use this as quick play and fuse a Buster Blader and your opponent's monster, which is a dragon, into this card. It's this card's got a lot of restrictions, but it's great. This is basically skill drain for dragon monsters on your opponent's side, so, and it goes to defense position, so if you got these two out, it's not a bad lockdown, but I prefer the other lockdown, which involves the Buster Blader and the level 1 Dark Tuner. If you equip it to Buster Blader, it's basically vanities for extra deck on your opponent's side, which is really handy and can be a pain in the ass to deal with, since early outs probably like Mirror Force or Raigeki and got Pulse and stuff, and a lot of decks sometimes drop those cards, so they won't even draw those because they're limited usually. And then of course Hieratic Ultimaya Tzolkin. So bonus of this card is we can summon the dragon guy. So if you set a card, you summon that guy. If you've got Buster Blade in the grave, summon it. If you don't, you can have a lot of options, and these are our options. BOSH, just a good card if you want to summon it first turn usually. Can't be destroyed, so put it in defense position. It's a pain in the ass to deal with. Scarwright can deal with the board, although it would kill Ultimayas as well. You can kill Ultimaya for 500 more damage. That could be really useful, and Ignis the Prominence, because we're dealing with pendulums. It's just really good against pendulums. It pops any pendulum on the field, including your opponent, to shuffle a card on target. A very good card. This is level 8 dragon. Starter Spark. Think of dropping this card because it's not as useful, but when we get vanities and this on the field, it's just a really good lock, but it's very inconsistent lock, so it's probably one of the ones I will drop first into one of these choices here, down here. Just keep it there for now until we don't like the card anymore. But we could probably put a second Michael in for the Starter Spark, but I only need it like once or twice, so the second Michael. And of course Michael, just banish a card. Milling cards is also good in this deck since you gain attack boost from Buster Blader using dragons in your graveyard. Black Rose, because if you have a level 1 tuner and a Theft Limit or a Convocation, you can just nuke the field, so yeah. And 2 rank 6s, M7 and Strike Bouncer. When you have your Sue tributing starts from hand and you got 2 Labradorite dragons, you can just recycle cards on the grave by using M7 or negate your opponent's field's monster effects by using Strike Bouncer. And now for the awesome bits of the deck. What's it? The Claw of Hermos targets is Rocket Hermos Cannon. This one, if you tribute Buster, it's not tribute, it's sent to the grave actually, which kind of sucks. It should be tribute, so it works with Hieratics, but it doesn't. It is if you send a warrior, you can equip one onto your monster, and you can make it attack twice and give it piercing damage. And the best one is the Red Ice Black Dragon Sword. It basically gives something 1000 attack and gives it 1000 attack and an additional 500 attack and defense for each dragon type on the field and in the graveyards. So if you have this card out and this, your dude's gonna go up really massive. So it goes up to 8k plus or something, sometimes 6k plus. And usually set that up using Ultimaya Tzolkin. And you set her. Oh yeah, I like doing is set Hermos and activate Tzolkin's effect to summon one of these guys, and then flip the thing you set, tribute send to the graveyard Ultimaya, and make the sword equipped to the guy Ultimaya just summoned. So that's the main combo. The other one that we can play is another one for warrior, so you can replace a cannon with this. This makes it so when you activate, your opponent activates anything in the battle phase, negates the first effect, and you can attack again. It's not as good in my opinion, since I prefer piercing damage and double attack. It's just much better. And you can also play Void Ogre Dragon, Scrap Dragon, another one of these, Clearwing, Atom. I don't think we need Atom, but just put it there. And a Foolish and this guy in the grave, but it's an egg, so we dropped it. So yeah, that's the main deck. So let's go into the replays to see what happened. Half my games today have been just Monarchs. It's just so annoying. That deck's going to be out soon and it's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. Alright, so one of these weird decks. I think I was playing against TGs, and we just use Buster Web to get Search, and we use Cast Consonants to draw. There's the engine working, and the draw engine. And this Twin Twister putting in the work, getting rid of this random trap card. I know it does. And we go Hieratic, so going off. I believe we're going to make it Ultimaya, of course, into Michael. And I'm just going to remove stuff on the field. There we go. Just mill 3 cards, and we are very lucky here. We milled a Buster Blader. Very lucky milling that Buster Blader. Now this will just get rid of that. Michael's really good for control. We're triggering Buster Blader, and I equip this to this one and summon it. It's similar to Dragonites. Set a card, make this one, summon this from the grave, and there you go. That is OTK with the Buster Whelp, and everything on their side of the field is Dragon, and we have the Super Poly set for the next turn. That was one of the easier games because I was playing out some random ass. I think this guy was testing this deck, so. And next game we have. I think it's some Light Sworn OTK. I just got some hand destruction attackers. And the Phantom Fog Bladers. Phantom stuff are going to be out, I think, in the Wing Raiders set, so this is basically an OC deck at the moment. And the Spin Twister got putting in the work again. We discarded Buster Blader, which is doesn't matter really because we can sack this off, summon it from the grave, equip this, unequip. See this pattern quite often, and summon Buster Blader from the grave. This can't be destroyed by battle, can't be attack actually because it's only attack. And there we go, we summon Strike the Black Rose. As they use that, since they can rank 4, we made the vanities for the extra decks so they can't rank 4 basically. And we just want to get rid of the Strict Clown at this point. And at this point we're probably just messing around, just get rid of Buster Blader. This card can't attack directly, which is really bad, so we just got rid of it because they have no monsters. It does do piercing damage though, so it's alright if they have defense position monsters. And now we have another Vanities lock. Extra deck Vanities lock, and they tried to make a level 7 synchro play, but they couldn't because this card is stopping them from doing anything. And they pretty much surrendered there because we probably cleared the field at that point. And we even have this. We have this card as well. I think I was about to summon this, make another card like a level 8 synchro. And summon Buster Blader, activate this, Super Poly, one of their dragon monsters, which because they're all dragon now, and make the level 8. Oh wait, you only pay 1, so don't worry. Don't care about that. We're probably gonna make a Scarlight at that point anyway. And there we go. There's another debate in the deck. You could play a second of the fusion monster, which I rarely go through one of them though, so it's not really needed since the extract is kind of packed because of the Ultimaya Tzolkin. And we already got against Sci-Frames. This deck was so annoying to play against, but a lot of stuff that can negate and summon things. Although it's not too bad since Hieratics usually trigger from the grave. Ultimaya is just there, and it Beals out. I made Beals because I kind of thought they had a thing that kills it by battle, and Beals can't be destroyed by card effects, so it's quite useful. Force them to get a Zeta out. Then twist this set card. Raigeki doesn't clear Beals again. They're having trouble with this card at the moment, and it's actually putting in the work against their deck. Very important to get rid of this card against Sci-Frames. There we go, we just slow game. They drew a Winner Rabbit, and they can't do anything with that, so that's it. And there we go, they got the field spell again, which means trouble for us. And they have no monsters, so they might do something. So I just decided to attack, and they have a beta now in the hand. Although this can't be destroyed, they can still make a Zeta, and this can just warp out with the Beals. And we took a risk here, and unfortunately they had a Gamma in hand, which could stop this card. Because I was trying to do the Buster Blader, you can't summon from the extra deck combo, so it's pretty much cancels out, but we couldn't do that at that time. Surprisingly, they didn't just attack for game. I think card is 800, so they'll double Omega's game, I believe. And they have 2 Omegas banishing our hand. We're very lucky here that they didn't banish the right card. And they're in 3k, so we just make an Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon so they can't drop the beta. And we have a 9/5 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Meteor Burst Dragon, I forgot to mention it in the deck pick earlier. It's just useful because if you go to battle phase, your opponent can't activate battle phasers with Scarecrow, etc. And if you equip it with this, it's pretty much game because it's a 9/5. It's a 9/5 since the grave was filled with Hieratics and stuff, so it's pretty weak. It's really a pain to deal with. This one was interesting decks I played against. It was the Performer Pal Alien deck. Of course, I think the Performer Pal engine is carrying this deck though, to be honest, but it was an interesting game since they get a lot of reptiles with the King of the Feral Imps, and they rank 4 into it so fast because Performer Pals can just rank 4 out of nowhere. And they also play Convulsion of Nature. I find that really weird. I think it's because you bounce it and stuff. And there's our draw engine working. As you can see, the Buster Blader draw engine with the Soul 7 stars. And we're just gonna do tried to pop something with Sue, or like Ultimaya. I think we ended up with 5 Hieratics in hand there, so we just kind of went ham with a double Ultimaya play. So Michael is there, so we're putting the work against this Imps. And we have a strike set here. That's why we base on traps, because it could be useful in a situation like this. That we got the wizard out, so we just strike that card. And I believe then we're going to make a Cosmic Fortress Golgar, which kind of sucks against Beals, like it struggles to get rid of it, but it gets a lot of A counters still because of the bounce. It's funny you can bounce the pendulum scales, it's really weird. And it cleared our field. We didn't top deck a spell or trap, so we couldn't use double Ultimaya combo, which kind of sucks, but that's unlucky. Got Elliot Ammonite, make it a 1. This guy's gonna bounce more cards. We got Twin Twist at the bottom of our deck, but they bounced it again, so they didn't want us to draw that card, so they won't let us. Surprised here they didn't trish the Beals. I thought I was in trouble at that point. And we top deck a Claw of Hermos, which means we just make up Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, get this thing, go to Beals with 11,000 attack, and attack for shit tons of damage. Oh, I love that card so much. Alright, so, this one's against Despots. Despots actually not too bad of a matchup since they rely so much on battle phase. So if you can cancel out their battle phase, it's not going to be that hard to beat them. Although, I think these guys are playing with a new support. Despot 08 and Despot 07, you see in their hand, which are 2 new Pendulum monsters. So now we just did our Buster Blader combo. So all I did here is put 6600 Buster Blader. And I know that 04 can't get around it, so you really send the highest level one, so it just doesn't do anything. Unfortunately, they had Divine Raffigar, Dragon Dude. Surprised they didn't use it earlier. And that card can't get around a 5600 Buster Blader. And this was a weird bit of the game, like I don't know why it didn't take battle damage here, so I don't know. It's almost right there, 04. And this is, top deck 7 stars, so we draw cards. I drew one of the same card and a card that we don't need at the moment. Lance, drawn. They have a warning as well. Just attack for shit tons of damage. I believe we could have. No, we couldn't have gone for game. We could have gone for game actually, but they had a warning. Being a bit cautious there. I think they managed to come back here since their 04 can now go up to really high attack. They basically use 03 to boost it and then his own effect to boost itself again. His top deck cards Consonance, Labrador Dragon, and the Twin Twister. And now we have a play with Ultimaya. I believe this is a play I really like. We go Starlight and deal loads of damage for residual burn. They're on 1300, so the 2k was enough to kill their board and their life points. And it's one of the games. It was a best of 3. I actually lost that actual best of 3 against this Dark Skyflame guy. He keeps spamming Infinity, and it was really pain in the ass. But this is I think this is the second game when I won. We just basically went into our Buster Blader combo. They passed turn 1 because the Cyber Dragons, very common. And we set up the vanities from the extra deck with this. They weren't aware of this at this point, but then later on we talked about it and said couldn't summon from the extra deck because of this card. So at this point they tried to make, I believe it was a Nova and an Infinity. And Nova can summon something from the grave and stuff. So they couldn't really do anything about that until I told them about this card. Like they thought it was a glitch or something. So yeah, that vanities from the extra deck's really useful. And this one's against Odd Eyes Pepe, Odd Eyes Performer Power. This Yugioh stack basically. They set 2 MSTs as well. So this warning's probably gonna die. And we are fortunate here that we opened the combo with a Buster Blader. We're a bit cautious with the macros, so just didn't do it. And they can MST this card, similar to Dragonities, you can MST the equip monsters. This is basically a equip spell. I believe they're setting up here, so next time they're probably going to go off since they have an Insight Magician double. And here we go again. I'm just going to do a Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon play, so they can't do anything in the battle phase, and make a Buster Blader 8100. And it's over Kaiba, basically. Yugi's Buster Blader is 8100 you in the face. And now all of a sudden we're gonna spot game. Okay, this time this guy's playing odd ice. Odd ice despots, I guess, or just such. It's a bit slow, but I don't know. And they have a torrential here, and I think they know. Yep, good idea. So they just TT'd our first hieratic play. However, they have no cards they could play because can't pendulum anything but despots with the scales. And here's the second hieratic bit. We're just going to Ultimaya. Unfortunately, it got effect railed, so we just had to stop there. And this thing is gonna kill it. We just set a Claw of Hermos, which doesn't do anything really at the moment. And here you go, we top deck a BUSTER BLADER draw engine piece, so we just got the hieratics off that. That was a good top deck, to be honest. That was a ridiculously good top deck. And we got an Ignis of Prominence, putting the work against pendulums. Now we just use Claw of Hermos onto the Ignis of Prominence, and it becomes a 9350 attack Ignis of Prominence due to the Red Ice Black Dragon Sword, giving it a shit ton of boost. And for the last replay, I don't even know what this will be. Okay, it's Light Swans. So you start with a charge, Lumina. I think they opened really well here. Lumina, Minerva, mill card, Foolish, Trick Clown as well. Michael, Hyades. I'm surprised they didn't just leave the Lumina on the field, but they did mill a damage juggler with the Michael. I think they might be upgraded to decking out. I suspect that. We're just going to do an Ultimaya Tzolkin play to Scarlight. Scarlight's now at 7,000, just nukes the field. We have a warning set, so very one-sided game. In the last game, they drew a terrible card, Dragonif, and we were warning that. So they'll set a Trick Clown, not Damage Juggler, which they did search off Damage Juggler. Of course, they can't do this effect since they'll probably lose the game, so they'll top deck a Jet Synchron. And I thought, hey, why the heck not? Let's make this guy in the battle phase and do piercing damage for game. Since this guy can't attack directly, it's a very big drawback, because I was trying to do attack and then quick play spell into the battle phase and it'll be 4-8 directly instead of piercing damage. But the fact that he gives piercing damage is not a bad effect, so debating whether to use two of him or not. So there you go, that's the BUSTER BLADER deck. Hope you like that. It relies quite a bit on the hieratic engine, but the BUSTER BLADER does put in the work because it's a really good draw engine, as well as a stun engine, since it's basically Vanity's the extra deck. And there we go, there is also another discard now, the Red Ice Black Dragon Sword. Get this card. I also need Claw of Hermos, so I need to pick up some of those, so yeah. That's the BUSTER BLADER Hieratics. Any opinions and discussions about this card, put it in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this? It would be quite interesting to see what you think about this deck. It's a really weird deck, but try it out, it's very fun. Nearly beat the Monarchs deck, but most of the time they stun my extra deck, so I can't really do anything. So, unless if I draw the Apprentice, but it's really hard. We'll be looking forward to the Monarchs deck next week. So I'll probably do another YGOPro video on that. I don't know if I would, but I'm not very good at using them. I don't even know how to use them, but I've played them so much that I'll probably figure it out in like 5 minutes. So I don't. Anyway, it's JamK aka Slifer. Hope you like that. See you later. Bye bye.